Wildcat Volleyball is on the air on TJSportsOnline.net's coverage. Alongside of, I don't know which adjective I would use to describe tonight. Normally we say cult hero, campus favorite, our hardworking engineer Glenn Thompson. I'm Matt Nelson. So happy that I can spend a part of my week with you. And I think you find yourself in the right place. MIAC Volleyball on tap on TJSportsOnline.net. Tonight, the Wildcats of St. Catherine University host Concordia College and their Cobbers. It's the home finale for St. Kate's. That means it's senior night. And tonight, the Wildcats will honor their two seniors, Emily Carmen and Mackenzie Pepper, for the great careers that they've had here in St. Paul. And one last chance to see these two senior stars on the hardwood playing volleyball here at St. Kate's. It's not the regular season finale. The Wildcats will wrap up their regular season on the road Saturday afternoon at St. Thomas. But at home at the Butler Center today, it is senior day and the last chance wearing the home whites for Emily Carmen and Mackenzie Pepper. The Wildcats come into tonight's game with a 13-11 record. 2-7 so far in the MIAC with 2 matches to go. And this team, although they hit a rough patch in the middle of the season against some very stiff competition, the schedule did them no favors. Lately, they've been playing much better. Their last 2 matches, they've won both of them, and they haven't even lost a set. They won 3-0 at home against Crown, and then their last time out, which was Saturday, on the road against Hamlin in the Midway neighborhood here in St. Paul, behind 13 kills from Emma Nelson and 11 from Aaron Cutts. The Wildcats defeated the Pipers, and they swept them on the road to get their second conference victory and improve their season mark in the MIAC to 2-7 overall and increase their record 2 games above 500 at 13-11. Let's talk about Concordia College and the Cobbers. They have the Dean of Volleyball coaching in this conference, Tim Mosser, in his 26th season. 9-16 record overall on the season for Concordia College. Doesn't tell the whole story, though. They're 4-5 in this very tough MIAC conference, so they've had success in conference play after having some difficulties in the non-conference portion of their schedule. Their last time out, they swept as well, and they defeated University of Minnesota Morris. That was actually last night in Morris, and the Cobbers again swept that. So both of these teams coming off of wins, both of them coming off sweeps. As I mentioned, Tim Mosser's in his 26th season, and Todd Nelson, the head coach for your St. Kate's Wildcats, is in his second. It's your Wildcat pregame show. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups for you as well as some senior day ceremonies. We'll do our best to, what would we say, Glenn, kind of narrate those. The acoustics aren't too accommodating, but we'll do our best to pick up the sound for that as we honor Emily Carmen and Mackenzie Pepper, our 2 seniors on this Wildcat team. That's when we come back. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball on TJSportsOnline.net.
Since 1971, Goodmanson Construction continues to develop concrete relationships with their commercial and residential customers throughout the upper Midwest. Questions or concerns about concrete, asphalt, and the company's installation process, check out their website at goodmansonconstruction.com. Thank you, Goodmanson Construction. A proud sponsor of Wildcat Athletics since all the way back in 1971, the Universal Athletic Team has been passionate about fueling the dreams of athletes, and they put all their know-how into doing just that. By servicing and selling athletic gear to local athletes, high schools, and colleges, Universal Athletic has dedicated its heart and soul to the support of sports, fitness, and health programs in schools and communities. Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines Incorporated, dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation at 888-670-8068 or visit their website at northfieldlines.com. Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians for St. Catherine's University as well as Augsburg University, Hamlin University, and others around the state of Minnesota. Visit tcomn.com TwinCities.com. And thank you to Twin Cities Orthopedics. For exceptional service and selection, look no further than Fury Motors in St. Paul. They're the #1 family-owned dealer to buy a Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram since all the way back in 1963. So much to choose from, and they make the shopping process easy. Also offering genuine service and financing. Visit stpaul.furymotors.com for more information. Peoples Electric Company is your full-service electrical contractor, one of the Upper Midwest's largest. From building and process automation, communications, construction services, energy savings, testing, and maintenance. Founded in 1922 by William F. Lindbergh and located in St. Paul, find out more information on Peoples Electric Company at www.peoplesco.com.
Bring it back into the house at the Butler Center tonight. The Wildcats hosting the Cobbers in MIAC volleyball. It's senior night. It's time to honor America with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. National anthem time, starting lineups and senior day ceremonies. Introducing both of the teams, Haley Ronner, Anna Brackey, Jill Klopp Hockey, 5'7" setter. Tim Mosser, the head coach for Concordia College and the Cobbers, 26th season. Now Todd Nelson, in his second season, will honor his two seniors. Emily Carmen, 5'10" middle blocker, the senior out of Maple Grove, and Mackenzie Pepper, 5'10" outside hitter, the senior out of Osceola. Let's try to pick it up.
170 sets and 175 matches for the Wildcats. The two of the had combined 969 kills, while both appearing on the beats was numerous times while at St. Pat. Emily Park, the Maple Grove game has appeared in a total of 232 sets and 75 matches in her 4-year career. As a right side hitter, Carmen has collected 267 kills in the same case on 1,002 attack attempts for an overall .143 attacking percentage. Carmen's off-court leadership is second to none as she uses deep-less honors each semester, maintaining a 3.904 GPA and leads many on-campus organizations. Playing in the final match of the line, Emily Carmen, daughter of Martin and Judy Carmen.
Nice ovation for senior Emily Carmen, averaging more than a kill per set this season.
her career with the Wildcats, the Osceola, Wisconsin native has played 341 sets for St. Kate's in 100 matches. Her right side has a total of 702 kills, ranking for 7th in program history. Cobbers old Wildcat also ranked for 7th in program history at 2,125 and a hitting percentage of .209, ranked for 8th in the program. Off the court, Pepper is a member of the St. Catherine University Student Nurses Association and member of the Nursing Department Committee on Students. Playing her live match for St. Kate's, Mackenzie Pepper, followed by Bruce and Judy Pepper. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for St. Kate's volleyball champions. Now, let's get the starters for your Wildcats.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? That's what it's all about. Senior night ceremonies as the Wildcats and their fans and families and friends are able to honor Emily Carmen and Mackenzie Pepper for all their contributions over the years to this Wildcat volleyball program. I mentioned this team 13-11 this season, 2 games over 500 with 2 to go, a 2-7 mark in the MIAC. The Cobbers 9-16 overall, 4-5 in the MIAC, and it's a busy night for volleyball around the conference as the Wildcats are introduced. Taking a look at the out-of-town volleyball scoreboard, Augsburg tonight hosting Gustavus. That should be a great match. In Minneapolis, St. Ben's is at home hosting McAllister. St. Mary's at home against St. Olaf. The Tommies taking on the Hamlin Pipers. A little St. Paul showdown at St. Thomas. St. Catherine's here hosting Concordia. Goes without saying, you're watching that match. And Carleton at home against Bethel. The Wildcats will wrap up their season just up the block on Saturday, 3 o'clock first serve when they'll take on St. Thomas. But the matter at hand tonight is Concordia and the Cobbers. Before we have the first serve here, a reminder that tonight's broadcast, along with all of our shows here on tjsportsonline.net from St. Catherine University, are interactive. What that means is we want to hear from you, the viewer, you, the listener. Drop us an email, wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. Whether you're rooting for the Cobbers or the Wildcats tonight, drop us a note. Let us know who you're rooting for and where you're watching from, whether that's on a cell phone, a tablet, a smart TV, wherever you're watching from. Let us know the town you're watching from and who you're rooting for tonight. Wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. That's right, Glenn. You can watch on your smart TV. You cannot watch, however, on your dumb TV at your house. That's the only kind you've got at the Thompson household. Unfortunately, you're out of luck. But for the viewers watching around the country here tonight, they are in luck. And we are underway from St. Paul. Wildcats managed to send that back, but it's around the antenna. Aaron Cutts had the last hit on it. It's out of bounds, and Concordia scores first. 1-0 lead in game 1. So, yes, whether you're rooting on the Cobbers or the Wildcats, let us know where it is you're watching from. Clop hockey back to serve. Tip shot from Pepper. Blocked. Kept alive by Cutts. Now Mackenzie Pepper gets another crack at it. That's dug out by Carney. Work to the left side, and a kill there for Bailey Groner. Her first, the sophomore out of Wright, Minnesota. Averages more than 1.6 kills per set. She has her first, and now a short serve coming up from Clop hockey. It's dug out, but Pepper gets a flat-footed roll shot on it. Cobbers will set the middle and score there. Kendra Wiggs, the youngster, a freshman, 5'11" middle blocker, 1 1/3 kills per set. Leads Concordia defensively with 73 blocks. She has her first kill, and a service error from the Cobbers puts the Wildcats on the board for the first time. 3-1 the new score, and Larissa Kish will come in to serve for the Wildcats. Kish, 5'5" junior, her 38 service aces, leads all Wildcats on the season. She goes with a low lining serve and has her 37th ace as the pass is an overpass and it falls wide and out of bounds. It was Anna Brackey in that back row. Brackey got plenty on it but missed wide. It's a service ace for Kish. Pads onto her team lead. Here's a back set to the right side. Honor dug out. Now Emma Nelson, she had a big night last time out with 13 kills. That's out of bounds. Long off of the hands of Haley Cuppett, the senior out of Colorado Springs. Misses long, and we're all square at 3 apiece. 3-point run for the Wildcats off of the service error from Concordia. Wildcats go to the middle and find Erin Cutts there. Cutts averages 1.7 kills per set. She has her first. It's a 4-0 run for St. Kate's, and they lead for the first time, 4-3 the new score. Kish back to serve with the Wildcats leading. Brackey ahead. Here comes Cuppett, left side. That's out of bounds. Long, and they'll say it was touched at the net. Wow, didn't see it from up here. But the first kill of the evening for Haley Cuppett. Really good player, senior. Colorado Springs, Colorado. 2 3/4 kills per set and a 135 average hitting percentage on the season. Wildcats go for Pepper in the middle. That's blocked and kept alive. Here comes Brackey taking a rip at it. Dug out by Nelson. Bunning sets the middle, and the Wildcats score there. They lead at 5-4. Cobbers tie it at 4. The Wildcats answer back with a point and take a 5-4 lead. Erin Cutts will go back to the line to serve. And that's long. Out of bounds. Service error. More Cutts. Second of the match. First for St. Kate's. We're all tied up at 5 apiece. Back and forth affair after the Cobbers jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Carney serves. Forces a poor pass from Kish. Nelson chases it down, and Amaker's able to lob it over. Now the Cobbers right side get the kill. They find Bailey Groner. Her second kill. Bronner, a sophomore out of Wright, Minnesota. Low pass. Bunning sets Nelson. Whistling shot off of the left side is mishit. It's out of bounds. Cobbers ducking out of the way of that one. Hitting error for Nelson. And a 2-point lead for Concordia. Courtney Carney in to serve. Bunning sets right side. Pepper through the block, and she scores. Whistle was a little bit tardy, but it's the first kill for the senior on senior night. Mackenzie Pepper is on the board. Jill Klophockey was diving in there late, and I think one of the officials thought she might have made that pancake dig, but no go. Klophockey sets right side. Bronner attacks, dug out by Amaker. Now Nelson scores it. Nice point for the Wildcats, and the first kill for Emma Nelson. Good two-way player. 2 1/3 kills per set to go along with 3 digs per set as well. Knuckling serve. Klophockey sets middle. That's out of bounds. Hitting error for the Cobbers. No touch at the net. Brianna Carney averages 2 1/3 kills per set. Her first swing of the night goes wide, and the Wildcats recapture the lead at 8-7. Schwarzrock serving. Brackey roll shot. Kish is there and ready. Schwarzrock back sets Carmen, the senior on the right side. That's dug out of the back row by Concordia. And now a hitting error off the left side and a Brackey. Brackey mishits into the twine. Cobbers struggling offensively early. They trail by 2. They led 3-0. The Wildcats went on a 4-0 run. Since then, it's been pretty back and forth. Schwarzrock will try Nelson. Roll shot dug out by Klophockey. Now Brackey left side. Amaker was there and waiting for. Into the middle we go. Turned away there was Tebben. Now Tebben gets another swing at it. Just a roll shot. Cobbers will try Bronner on the right side, and she scores it. Big point for the Cobbers. Brings them to within 1. Bronner to the bench with 3 kills. And Lexi Turn will head back to the line to serve. Turn comes in as a serving specialist. Schwarzrock, middle. Carmen turned away, kept it alive. Chase back for Nelson. She's blocked, but she's there to pop that straight up. Now Nelson, another crack at it. Over the block and dug out of the back by Paige Faber. Now Brackey, big booming swing off the left side, ties us at 9. Brackey's first kill. Nelson blocked out of bounds. The second kill for Nelson puts the Wildcats in double digits. They lead 10-9. All right, the inbox is starting to heat up here on a cool Wednesday night. Jeff Groner chimes in. He's watching from Cromwell High School while the playoff game is going on, and he says, "Go Cobbers." Thanks, Jeff, for writing in. So far, number one in maroon and gold with 3 kills. We're all tied up at 10 apiece. Anytime you get that inbox update, you got to check that stat sheet. Wildcats go to the right side for Carmen. That's out of bounds. Cobbers lead again, 11-10. So thanks, Jeff, for writing in. And the high school playoff game is going on at Cromwell High. Hopefully it's a good one. We've got a good one here in the first set. Wildcats trying the middle. That's dug out of the back row and tapped back over. Wildcats will get another crack at it. They'll try the pin this time. Brackey was there to dig it out. Now the Cobbers try their left side, and that's blocked. The Wildcats were there. Cuppet turned away. It was Tebben and Carmen on the block, first for either team this evening. And it ties us at 11-11. Brackey, not her best pass, but they got it over to Cuppet. Left side, pin hitter. Dug out Nelson. Great play by Schwarzrock to keep it alive. Cobbers now go middle. Wildcats again playing with great effort defensively. Tip shot. Dug out. Cobbers back set right side. That's turned away. They'll try it again. No, over on second. Contact and a kill there for the Cobbers. Carney with the kill. And we've got a viewer down in the Lone Star State, San Antonio. Jim chimes in and says, "Let's go Wildcats." Thanks, Jim, for writing in. First block for the Cobbers. As we check the inbox, Concordia takes a 13-11 lead. Jim's watching from the River Walk undoubtedly over a fresh bowl of guacamole. Big plate of Tex-Mex, undoubtedly watching on his iPad. Cobbers go to left side, and a good swing there for Haley Cuppet. Her best of the night, her second kill right about on her season average of 2 3/4 kills per set. Thanks, Jim, for writing in and for tuning in tonight from the Butler Center. It's the home finale this year for St. Kate's in volleyball. We'll call that a Cobber block. It was close, but Hayden Gunderson was in there on the block. It's the second of the night for Concordia. And left step aside for a break. First break for the players, first break for us. Cobbers 15, St. Kate's 11. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
As a family-owned and operated business since 1971, Goodmanson Construction continues to develop concrete relationships with their commercial and residential customers throughout the upper Midwest. Questions or concerns about concrete, asphalt, and the company's installation process, check out their website at goodmansonconstruction.com. Thank you, Goodmanson Construction. A proud sponsor of Wildcat Athletics since all the way back in 1971, the Universal Athletic Team has been passionate about fueling the dreams of athletes, and they put all their know-how into doing just that. By servicing and selling athletic gear to local athletes, high schools, and colleges, Universal Athletic has dedicated its heart and soul to the support of sports, fitness, and health programs in schools and communities.
Bring it back into St. Paul. Wildcats and Cobbers in MIAC volleyball. Cobbers leading 15-11. Cobbers jumped out to a big lead early, but St. Kate's was able to stem that tide, but now the Cobbers have recaptured that 4-point lead. It's actually their biggest of the night, and they build on it here. Gunderson has her first kill. The freshman out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, adds the lead to 5, 16-11 now. Biggest lead of the night for the Cobbers. Carney serves. Wildcats need the side out. Got to get a point here. They go middle, and oh, they're going to say that was out of bounds. Ay. All right, well, I'm going to be politically correct then. Tebben on the swing out of the middle. Wildcats will deserve the next break from the officials. That ball clearly landed on the tape. Cut the tape right in half. Cobbers try the middle. Turned away there was Wiggs. Now Amaker on the dig. Schwarzrock sets middle. Cuts. Finds her mark and scores her second kill. The sophomore out of Osceola finally gets the Wildcats that side out. They trail by 5. It's a fun thing about hearing from our listeners. Drop us a note, wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. You never know where you're going to hear from fans of these teams. As that's out of bounds, and the Wildcats get back-to-back points. Trail now just by 4. Cuppet goes long. So far, pretty strong presence from the middle of the country. This is the one place you're going to come and not have any political ads for the next 2 weeks. Glenn, am I right about that? No political ads in the queue for tonight's volleyball game? Politics-free zone. Wildcats score with Pepper. We've got none loaded in the computer for tonight. Klopaki serves, and she's got an ace. First of the night for the Cobbers. Klopaki, the Cobbers leader in service aces this season, now has 37 of them. 19-13 Cobbers in control in this first set. Knuckling serve. Pretty good pass from Nelson. Here comes Pepper. Tip shot dug out by Klopaki. Set left side. Cup it. Oh, she was blocked. Wildcats are there to stymie that try. Cuts. And Leverentes. Second block for the Wildcats. Kish comes in to serve. Wildcats down by 5. If they're going to take a run at this Cobber lead and make it close here in set number 1, they got to do it right here. Right person at the service line to do it. Klopaki sets middle, and the Cobbers score right away. Get the side out. Kendra Wiggs has her second kill. Wasn't the best pass from Brackey in the back row, but Klopaki made do with it and found Wiggs for the kill. Powerful top spinning jump serve, handled nicely. Wildcats try the middle. They're turned away there. Good dig by Carney. Brackey has a try at it. Kish is there. Running sets Pepper right side. Whistles one off of the libero's hands. And Carney sends it back over. Wildcats try Nelson this time. Again, Carney is there. Brackey, left side try for the Cobbers. Amaker is there. Best point of the night. And it's going to end on a whistle. In the net is called. And it was called against Kendra Wiggs. So the Wildcats get the point. That's not how you really want to see a rally like that end, is on a whistle. That was our best rally of the night. Very sharp play by both sides of the net. And this is going to be a service ace. The ace for the Wildcats. Aaron Cuts, the second of the night for St. Kate's. Cuts the Cobber lead to 4. Wildcats home whites with black trunks going right to left across your screens and cell phones and iPads. Ronner couldn't get it down. Nelson does. And we got a timeout taken. Cobbers timeout. Tim Mosser will talk things over as the Wildcats have cut the lead to 3, 20-17. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines Incorporated, dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation at 888-670-8068 or visit their website at northfieldlines.com. Twin Cities Orthopedics offered full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians for St. Catherine's University as well as Augsburg University, Hamlin University, and others around the state of Minnesota. Visit tcomn.com and thank you to Twin Cities Orthopedics. For exceptional service and selection, look no further than Fury Motors in St. Paul. They're the #1 family-owned dealer to buy a Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram since all the way back in 1963. So much to choose from, and they make the shopping process easy, also offering genuine service and financing. Visit stpaul.furymotors.com.
Bring you back out of the Cobbers timeout as the Wildcats score. Got another email coming into wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. This is remarkable. It's very exciting stuff. It's record-setting. It's never been done before as the Cobbers go over on second contact and score it. It would have been close. Aaron Cutts chased it down, decided to throw a hand at it. Might have been long, but she's able to deflect it out of bounds. The Hams Bear writes in. The Hams Bear, watching from the land of sky blue waters. Go Wildcats, says the Hams Bear. This is a bear that's ambidextrous. He has use of all of his digits as he writes into the Wildcats booth at gmail.com. Unbelievable. And he's rooting for the Wildcats. He made the right call. Brackey tip shot. Dug out by Kish. Pepper took a cut at it. Dug out of the back row. Now Amaker's there to chase it down. Nelson left side. Set a little tight to the twine, and they're going to say it's 4 hits against St. Kate's. The Concordia lead is 4. Well, there you go. You got Wildcats fans writing in. You got Cobbers fans writing in. You have humans and now a bear.
I remember the bear when I was a kid.
That's back from Glenn's era. We'd have to look up when the bear first made his splash onto the scene from the land of sky blue waters. Early 60s, maybe. And they're going to stick with the call. They're going to say that was Cobbers points as the two officials got together. But that's exciting, isn't it? A bear. Right again.
First cousin to Yogi.
What's next? Yogi Bear, TC Bear. We got a thing going here. Nice looking point there for St. Kate's as they go into the middle. Erin Tebben has her first kill. When the Wildcats have been at their best tonight, it's been in the middle. Didn't matter which setter was in there. Now you've got Schwarzrock coming in to serve, but Bunning and Schwarzrock, both of them have had good connections tonight with their middle blockers. Back row tipped over by Carney. Right side roll shot by the senior Carmen on senior night. Pop hockey sets Brackey left side. Dug out by Kish. Now here comes Tebben firing away and scoring. And we've got ourselves a game. Just 2 points separate the Cobbers and the Wildcats. It's 22-20. Schwarzrock serving. Oh no, it's into the twine. Right into the tape. Right into the tape for Schwarzrock. Didn't get the fortunate bounce. 2 aces, 2 errors on the serving sheet for St. Kate's. And it makes it 23-20. This one looked like the Wildcats had garnered all the momentum. Cobbers gather under this one, and it's Brackey. No block there, and a pretty easy kill. No resistance from St. Kate's. Brackey scores just that quickly. Service error and a Brackey kill, and it is set point for the Cobbers. Turn serving. Schwarzrock for Nelson. She settles underneath it with a roll shot. Cobbers turn, goes to the right side. That's dug out, chased down by Nelson. She'll go high with it. It'll be just tapped over by Carmen. Right side, big swing and a kill for Hayden Gunderson, her second. And that wraps up the first set. Cobbers lead early. Wildcats charge back, made it close. It was 22-20, and the Cobbers go on a 3-0 run to close out the first set. 25-20, your final score in the first game. Set number 2 coming your way when we come back. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball on tjsportsonline.net. And a reminder, tonight's broadcast is interactive. Wildcats booth at gmail.com. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're rooting for tonight. Game 2 coming up from St. Paul.
For more information, People's Electric Company is your full-service electrical contractor, one of the Upper Midwest's largest. From building and process automation, communications, construction services, energy savings, testing, and maintenance. Founded in 1922 by William F. Lindbergh and located in St. Paul, find out more information on Peoples Electric Company at www.peoplesco.com. Wildcat Athletics is proudly supported by the Ryan Company, the Hickey family, U.S. Bank, the Loeffler Companies, Cone U.S., and the Opus Group. Wildcat supporters this season also include Shapco Printing, Sodexo, Terra General Contractors, the O'Neill Group, ProTech Designs, and Floors by Becker. Other Wildcat sponsors include McGough Construction, the DLR Group, Push Pedal and Pull, the Newman family, Sava Tree, Jimmy John's, and Munchie's Frozen Yogurt.
Well, whether you're watching from Cromwell High, San Antonio, or maybe even from the land of sky blue waters, we welcome you back into St. Paul. Wildcats hosting the Cobbers. Concordia swipes away the first set, 25-20. Final score in that one. Brackey with 2 kills. Bronner had 3. Gunderson had the clincher and another one on top of that. Kendra Wiggs had a pair. Diverse, balanced attack. Clop Hockey did the bulk of the setting, along with Carney, who does a little double duty as libero, but she also gets plenty of touches on that second contact. The Wildcats go to Pepper for their first point. Her 3rd kill for Mackenzie Pepper. Wildcats score first. In the first set, it was the Cobbers scoring first. They went on a 3-0-1 to open up the first set here in St. Paul. Kish back to serve. This one's set left side. Cup it. It's dug out by the Wildcats. Erin Cutts is there to fire away, and before her swing, the Cobbers were called for going into the net. 2-0 lead for St. Kate's. Cobbers hit 196 in the first set. St. Kate's hits 085. They were led by Emma Nelson in her 4 kills in that first set. There's Nelson, and she's got her 5th. Emma Nelson led the way for St. Kate's in their 3-set victory on the road against Hamlin. She had 13 kills. Erin Cutts was right on her heels with 11, and the Wildcats have opened up a 3-0 lead. Wapaki sets left side, and a miss hit there for Bronner, who had 3 kills in the first set. Didn't get a great ball to swing at, and really had nowhere to go with it. So a hitting error makes it a 4-0 lead for St. Kate's. Wapaki, that's Cup it. There waiting for it was Kish. Didn't get a great hit on it. Kish was in the right spot, but it's a point for the Wildcats. It's Cup it with her 3rd kill. Pretty robust response into our Wildcats booth inbox. It's wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. So far, a trio of Wildcat fans. A few Cobbers fans in there as well, as the Wildcats scored on their left side. Nelson has her 6th kill. MIAC wraps up its regular season on Saturday. Cobbers, again, no resistance there in the middle for Kendra Wiggs. Wiggs hitting .201 on the season. Probably not as high as you'd like to see the middle blocker, but just a freshman and putting up big numbers. 73 blocks and 1 1/3 kills per set, too. So going to develop into a really good player for Concordia. Here comes Brecky through the block. Amaker there. Passes ahead. Scooped over the net, and they're going to say it was carried. So a point for the Cobbers. It's 5-3. Courtney Carney back to serve. Got the bounce off the tape. That was the one the Wildcats needed at 22-20. That's blocked out of bounds, and Nelson has another. Her 7th. In set number 1, the Wildcats closed it to just a 2-point game at 22-20, and then had a service error that wound up in the tape. Could have gone either way, and it stayed on the Wildcats side of the net. There's a service error that time going long. And after that, the Cobbers went on a 3-0 run, never looked back, and clinched that first game. 6-4 the score. The home Wildcats on top by 2. Lexi Turn in to serve, and she hits one into the net. Service error, 2nd of the night for Concordia College. Emma Nelson will serve it for the Wildcats. All right, we asked the question, Glenn, and you speculated about it. Our master engineer and all-around smart guy, Glenn Thompson. The Bear debuted on the scene in the early 1950s. Yes. Brackey dug out by Amaker into the middle. Tebbins tried dug out. Now Gunderson, who scores. It was touched at the net. And the point for Gunderson, Aiden Gunderson. It's her 3rd kill. There's some good youngsters on this Cobbers team. Bronner, underclassman, Brackey, Klophockey, just a sophomore. Carney's a freshman. Gunderson's a freshman. Turn, we've seen a lot of, is just a sophomore. Wiggs is a freshman. Casey Coast is a sophomore. This team, if they can hang together and develop, they're going to be pretty good. Into the middle. Tebben scores for the Wildcats. Her 2nd. The sophomore out of New London. Amaker in to serve. Brackey will try cup it on the left side. That time it was dug out by Schwarzrock. Rentes on the swing. Now cup it again. Nelson threw a hand up at it. Didn't get much of a touch on it, just a fingernail. And Cuppet has her 4th kill. An 8-6 lead for the Cobbers. They've turned the tide. They're on a 4-0 run. Wildcats don't get a great serve receive that time. It's tapped over by Carmen. Cobbers should have a pretty good look at it. They go to the middle. Tip shot there is out of bounds. Miss hit by Wiggs. That's that hitting percentage that I talked about. And you know, from my perspective there, Wiggs goes up. She's got a clean shot at the floor. Kind of goes with a redirect, little tip shot, touch shot. That's a ball that if she goes up and, you know, it sounds simplistic, but if she just goes up there muscle memory-wise and just hammers away at it, she's going to find her mark. And I know it sounds silly and it sounds simple to just say, well, hit it hard. But sometimes when the opportunity presents itself, that's exactly what you've got to do. Mike Hebert was the legendary head coach for a long time at Illinois and then here at the University of Minnesota, and he would sit out with a radar gun at practice. Rentes with her first kill, the freshman out of Andover. Lots of youngsters in this match on both sides of the net. Lots of youth. And a timeout taken. It's the Cobbers using their first of the second game. They trail by 5. Good run for St. Kate's. They're up 11-6. And you're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
As a family-owned and operated business since 1971, Goodmanson Construction continues to develop concrete relationships with their commercial and residential customers throughout the upper Midwest. Questions or concerns about concrete, asphalt, and the company's installation process, check out their website at goodmansonconstruction.com. Thank you, Goodmanson Construction. A proud sponsor of Wildcat Athletics since all the way back in 1971, the Universal Athletic Team has been passionate about fueling the dreams of athletes, and they put all their know-how into doing just that. By servicing and selling athletic gear to local athletes, high schools, and colleges, Universal Athletic has dedicated its heart and soul to the support of sports, fitness, and health programs in schools and communities.
Well, the Wildcats have really been playing well lately as they lead 11-6 here in this second game, trying to even it up. Ahead of set number 3, Matt Nelson back with you alongside of engineer Glenn Thompson. Anderson, big swing off to the right side, no touch at the net, it's out of bounds. And a point for St. Kate's, they lead it by 6. But when you look at the last few times out for St. Kate's, we'll just say their last 3, they got the 2-1 record, that's very nice. But it could just as easily be 3-0. They lost to Carleton in Northfield in 5 sets. It's Cuts out of the middle with her third kill. 13-6 now. So that 5-setter, that could have gone either way, and St. Kate's would be 3-0 in their last 3. They hosted that St. Kate's tournament back on the 12th and the 13th. As Gunderson scores on the right side. Gunderson, another good-looking freshman. Gunderson averages just 1.2 kills per set. She's ahead of that season average as the Cobbers trail it by 6. Wildcats hosted that tournament, went 2-2 in it a couple weekends ago. Cuts, tried to get it over with the left hand. They say she carried it, so Cobbers score back-to-back points and climbed to within just 5. 13-8. Short serve into the net. Service error for Klop Hockey. Is the third of the night for the Cobbers. Wildcats defeated University of California, Santa Cruz, and Buena Vista. Lost in that tournament to UW Superior and Luther College. Both of those in 4 sets. Busy weekend. All of those games went at least 4 sets, all 4 in the St. Kate's tournament. Right side, Pepper, dug out by Brackey. Cobbers try middle, tip shot, dug out by Kish. Bunning sets Nelson. She scored it through the block. Bronner and Christensen were there on the block, and Nelson is able to muscle it through for her 8th. Yeah, the Superior match on the 12th went 4 sets. Buena Vista, a 5-setter, and then Santa Cruz and Luther, both 4-setters as well. So that's a busy couple days of volleyball. Booming swing by Cuts. Great dig, but it's going to fall to the floor. Cuts gets the kill. Carney was there and stood in admirably, but in the end, Cuts has her 4th kill. 16-8. Wildcats dominating in this second set, and Concordia takes their second timeout. Let's join them in a timeout. 16-8. Wildcats cruising in St. Paul in set number 2. Welcome you back into St. Paul. The Wildcats with a pretty firm grip on this second game. They lead at 16-8 after dropping the first set 25-20 at Nelson alongside of engineer Glenn Thompson. Two guys that did not win the lottery last night, that $1.6 billion. But even if we would have been here because I didn't want to tell Glenn that I won it. Kish. Chase down, bumped over the net, but out of bounds. Cobbers take the timeout, and they score. So, yes, would I be here today if I won the lottery yesterday, Glenn? Yes, I would have been here. As you throw your headset on. I would have been here because I wouldn't want you to know that I won it. I wouldn't want to share. I would share with you. Carmen bumps it over. 16-9 the score, tapped over by Carney, now into the middle, and Cuts is on fire. She's got her 5th kill. But think about that though. If I won $1.6 billion, and I gave you a check right here, right where you're standing, and I said, Glenn, you have been the best engineer. You have made me sound so good. You never make any mistakes. You do a great job. You're hardworking. You're always on time. Here's a check, cash, for $50,000. You would think I was a cheap, you know what. Good shot out of the back row. Why not? Cuts is the hot hand. Doesn't matter. In the middle, in the back row. She's all over the floor scoring, and the Wildcats lead it by 9. You would think I was totally a cheapo. You would expect at least $100,000. Unbelievable. See, that's why I wouldn't want to win that much money. It's insane. Abigail Christensen, her first kill, puts the Cobbers in double digits. It's 18-10. You're crazy. I mean, I put $50,000 in your pocket, and you'd expect 100. See, that's crazy. I would much rather win 1.6 million than 1.6 billion. What do you think of that? Am I crazy? I could be so comfortable with $1.6 million. I could go on living my life happy as can be. 1.6 billion, I feel you'd have no choice but to turn into some kind of neurotic mess, counting your money every day, making sure it's still there. Nicely done. The Wildcats really riding the middle blockers. Tebbins' 3rd kill. No, 1.6 after taxes. Listen to you. You get a little bit of money and you start worrying about Uncle Sam. Unbelievable. Out of bounds, and the Wildcats lead it by 10, 20-10. Do you know how happy I'd be to pay taxes on winning a couple $1,000,000 bucks? Boy, I'd cut that check over to Uncle Sam with the biggest grin on my face. That's out of bounds. Service error for the Wildcats. That's their 4th against just 2 service aces. But I'm confident. Carmen slides into the middle and scores. 22-11 lead for Skates. So you're saying that $1 million is enough to be stupid and blow it, and 1.6 billion is basically an insurmountable mountain of money. A low esteem you have of my control. Nice shot. Carmen back-to-back kills. Her 2nd. 23-11 the new score. I bet you all of our listeners watching and following along at some point during the last week have played the what would I do with all that money game. It's been a topic of conversation by the water cooler all over the place. And on Twitter, there is no talk by the water cooler anymore. It's been the talk of the smartphone. Gunderson attacks. Great dig by Nelson. Schwarzrock will set left side. And Liverentes has her 2nd kill. And the Wildcats have sent us to set point in a dominating effort in this 2nd set. Nelson misfires with an error, the 5th service error for St. Kate's. This is something, though, like an 18-4 run, 17-4 run by St. Kate's. They have just put the foot on the gas pedal and haven't really looked back. Rentes has the clincher. The freshman sends us to the third game. Set number 2 is in the books. St. Kate's evens it up with a dominant 25-12 performance. Didn't even give Concordia a chance to generate any momentum heading into the third set. We'll play at least 4 from St. Paul, and the ever-crucial third set coming your way when we come back from St. Paul. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball. Wildcats with a big answer as we go to set number 3. Heard on the news as we welcome you back to St. Paul, you have, was listening, you have, I think I heard a 3 times better chance of being killed by a vending machine falling on you. A vending machine than winning the lottery, winning that $1.6 billion. But somebody had to win it. Saw the winning ticket. South Carolina had the winning numbers. What would really be a bummer is if your winning ticket was sold at a store that you frequented. Wildcats, just as they did in the second game, come out and score first. Amarenta's with her 4th kill. She had the clincher in game 2. Wildcats, much better work hitting in the second set. They hit I'm assuming, and I'm going to say this not officially, as Carney, the junior, has her 2nd kill. We're tied at 1 apiece. Their season high in hitting percentage for a set, 484 for St. Kate's, and they hit 244 so far in the match. Concordia came back to earth. They hit pretty well in the first set, 196. They hit just 032 in the second set, and are hitting 130 now on the match. Cuppet leads all scorers for Concordia with her 5 kills. Nelson has 8 for the Wildcats. And here comes Pepper, the senior, playing her last match at the Butler Center. Pretty good effort there by Carney to keep it in front of the antenna. Into the middle, cuts the hot hand. Can't put this one down. Carney chases it down. Gunderson blocked. Brackey sends it back over. Here comes Pepper through the block, and she scores it. Didn't get much on it, did Pepper, but got enough to get the job done with her 4th kill. 2-2 the score in set number 3. Last volleyball match on the calendar here from the Butler Center. TJSportsOnline.net's coverage will continue Saturday. I'll be at Augsburg University as the Cobbers go for Gunderson in the middle. She has her 5th kill. Augsburg hosting Bethel in what should be a very good match on Saturday. 3 o'clock start in that one. And we'll be back here for basketball as well. Brackey serving. First basketball broadcast, Glenn, 28th of November, I believe. 27th of November. Thank you, sir. Erin Cutts has her 7th kill. Right on Nelson's heels for team lead. It ties us at 3. Don Mulhern will be back for his 2nd season as Wildcat head basketball coach. Cuppet over the block, scores it. Nicely done. Cuppet has her 6th kill. If you're just joining us, welcome to St. Paul. It's the 3rd set from the Butler Center. Concordia wins the first set 25-20. Wildcats strike back and dominate the second game 25-12. It was all St. Kate's. And they really did a lot of what you just saw there. A lot of Carmen, Tebben, and Cutts in the middle. Haven't seen a lot of kind of flatness in the middle, but the middle blockers have been getting it done. That's Tebben's 4th kill. You look at the scoring really outside of Emma Nelson, it's basically been the middle blocker show. 4-4 score in this very crucial 3rd game. So often the one that takes that 3rd game, whether it goes 5 or not, ends up winning. Nice shot. Nelson! Cobbers can't handle it. Goes sizzling off of the fingertips of a trio of Cobbers. And a 5-4 lead now for St. Kate's. And a point for the Wildcats. The Cobbers right now look a touch flat-footed. They need to rally and find that great energy that they played with in that first set. It's a much better pass now for Cuppet. That's out of bounds. Wildcats by 3. I'm assuming we're quickly approaching a Concordia timeout. For now, Tim Mosser will let him play on. And it pays off. Schwarzrock misfires. Wildcats have served tough. They've forced a lot of poor passes, but they have racked up the service errors. That's their 6th in just 2 sets and change. Klopacki serving. Schwarzrock back sets. Tebben who scores. Tebben's 5th kill. Tebben's had a good season along with her just under 2 kills per set and a .233 hitting percentage. She is 2nd on the team with 43 blocks. Good tough serve by Nelson. Klopacki sets middle. Wiggs couldn't find the hardwood, so Carmen gets a crack at it. She was blocked. Nelson chases it down. Sends it back over. Klopacki will try Cuppet. That's dug out by Nelson. Averaging more than 3 digs per set. Whistling shot left side. Brackey chases it down. Cuppet once more. Nelson's got her number. Schwarzrock for Carmen. Brackey's there. Another good rally here. One of our better ones of the night. Cuppet for Nelson. Schwarzrock into the middle. Boy, the Wildcats got it going on in the middle of the floor. Tebben's 6th kill and a 9-5 lead. The middle blockers are dominating right now in this one. Concordia has not been able to get the block going. Over on second contact is Jill Klopacki. The first kill for Klopacki, the sophomore. And Cuppet will go back to serve. Into the middle again. Tebben. Aki Amaker's there to dig that one out. Now Nelson out of the back row. Perfect shot. Finds the back corner. Nelson's in double digits. She has 10 kills. And the Wildcats have as many points here in the 3rd set. 10-6. First to double digits is St. Kate's. Amaker serving. Klopacki tries the right side this time, and a good-looking shot. One of the best of the night for Bailey Groner. Her 4th. I'm sure that one got the attention of our friends at Cromwell High School. Made it a 3-point set. Brackey, left side. She's on the board for the third time. Freshman out of Fargo. Just went across the border to play her collegiate volleyball. 10-8. Libero, the freshman, Courtney Carney in. Got the roll off of the tape. Nelson did well to get it to Schwarzrock. Amarentes tapped it over. Now Brackey blocked. Kept alive by Carney. Brackey again. There's Amaker. Nice dig. Amarentes, cross-court shots out of bounds. It's a 1-point set right now, and Tim Mosser looks like the brightest guy in the gym for hanging on to that timeout. His team was definitely on the ropes here in this third game. Hung on to that timeout, and his team has paid it off and has rallied all the way back to tie it up at 10. Service ace for Carney, second of the night for Concordia College. Now let's take a deep breath. It's a race to 15. Amarentes scores, blocked out of bounds. The block was there, Bronner and Carney, but they weren't quite able to redirect that block inside of the tape. 11-10, Wildcats lead. And the Cobbers, they go into the middle for some offense. Brianna Carney. Junior out of Moorhead, behind on her season average. Averages 2 1/3 kills per set. She has her third here to tie us at 11. Turn into serve. Lunning sets Pepper left side, just inside the antenna. And a point for the senior Pepper, her fifth. Some great notes on the back of today's game day program from assistant coach Sam Sullivan, head coach Todd Nelson, and then great notes from the two seniors, Carmen and Pepper. Wildcats score with Kish's second ace on the night. She has 2 of the 3 for St. Kate's. And they have a baker's dozen, 13-11 now. Kish. Brackey, good pass, and she'll get a swing at it off the left side and score. Good pass, and Brackey finishes it off with her 4th kill. 13-12, and this is starting to have the smell of a game that's going to go right down to the wire. 13-12 your score. Brackey serving, and she missed hit it. It's into the tape. It's the 4th service error of the evening for Concordia, and it's 14-12. Cuts back to serve. And that one's carried by St. Kate's. You could hear it. Lunning hit it twice. And it's a point for the Cobbers. Brings it the Concordia College Cobbers back to within just 1. Tip shot, nice one. Pepper over the block. Carney couldn't close it out quite in time. Pepper's 6th kill gives St. Kate's that 2-point cushion, 15-13. And Schwarzrock heads back to serve. And that time it was carried by the Cobbers. A point for St. Kate's. Lexi Turn, the sophomore out of Kennedy, Minnesota, comes in, does some setting, comes in as a serving specialist. That time she carried it. And St. Kate's leads it now 16-13, getting to be crunch time, and an ace! Big one! 17-13 now. Wildcats lead it by 4. Schwarzrock, the 4th ace of the night for St. Kate's, and it forces a Tim Mosser timeout. Wildcats 17, Cobbers 13. The 3rd set from St. Paul.
As a family-owned and operated business since 1971, Goodmanson Construction continues to develop concrete relationships with their commercial and residential customers throughout the upper Midwest. Questions or concerns about concrete, asphalt, and the company's installation process, check out their website at goodmansonconstruction.com. Thank you, Goodmanson Construction. A proud sponsor of Wildcat Athletics since all the way back in 1971, the Universal Athletic Team has been passionate about fueling the dreams of athletes, and they put all their know-how into doing just that. By servicing and selling athletic gear to local athletes, high schools, and colleges, Universal Athletic has dedicated its heart and soul to the support of sports, fitness, and health programs in schools and communities.
Welcome me back to St. Paul. The Wildcats let the first set slip away from them. Went right through their fingertips at the end. They were down just by 2 at 22-20. Since then, they have responded in a big way, dominating the second set. And right now, after the miss hit by Gunderson, are in complete control of this third game. 18-13, Wildcats on top. This is a team that swept Hamlin, swept Crown. And they've got an ace. There's that lucky bounce off of the tape they didn't get earlier. It just about fell in Lexi Turn's back pocket. It's 19-13, and there goes the second Cobber timeout. So just as soon as we bring you back, we send you back to break. The second Cobber timeout. Wildcats by 6, 19-13.
Cat Athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines Incorporated, dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation at 888-670-8068 or visit their website at northfieldlines.com. Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians for St. Catherine's University as well as Augsburg University, Hamlin University, and others around the state of Minnesota. Visit tcomn.com, and thank you to Twin Cities Orthopedics.
Hope you're having a great fall. Thanks for joining us tonight from St. Paul. Thanks for spending a part of your week with us in Wildcat Athletics. From all the fine folks at tjsportsonline.net. And that even includes our engineer, Glenn. 19-13. Wildcats by 6. Another tough serve, but a beauty of a pass. Wow, nice job by Brackey. And it's finished off by Kendra Wiggs. Fourth kill, but that was set up by Brackey. That was a tough serve to handle, and she popped it up perfectly and even gave a shrug of her shoulders to her teammates. That was good work. Wildcats have a 5-point lead. Can't let the Cobbers go on a run. We can trade points the rest of the way. Doggone it, we carried it. Schwarzrock called for 2 hits. 19-15 now, and again, St. Kate's still in a position where we can go tit for tat and trade points, but last thing you need is a long Cobber run. And if you're cheering on the Cobbers, that's exactly what you're looking for, and there's a block as Wiggs is turned away by the Wildcats block. 20-15 now. Nelson back at the line to serve. Here she comes. Crucial point. She's got an ace. No chance for Courtney Carney. Went diving in there with the right hand, and it was a perfectly struck serve by Nelson. The 5th ace tonight for St. Kate's. 21-15. St. Kate's by 6. Nelson again. This time she backs it off and has got another ace. That time she crossed up Courtney Carney. The 6th ace for St. Kate's. Carney was ready for that booming serve that she just faced, and Nelson hit her with a changeup. Now she goes back to the heater. Handled by Brackey over on second contact. Wildcats were ready for it this time. Leverentes, that shot was dug out and bumped back over. Now into the middle with it. Kevin couldn't get it down. Carney will set Cuppet. Cross-court shot. Amaker was there and ready for it. Wildcats look in sync right now. Playing with great energy, great momentum. Right side, Groner tip shot. Dug out. Leverentes, blocked. A rare block tonight for either team. Groner and Wiggs, 3rd block for the Cobbers. St. Kate's just with 2. This game would not be mistaken as a physical one. There hasn't been a lot of big booming blocks at the net. Here comes Cuppet with that top spinning jump serve that she employs. Wildcats handle it with ease and score. Erin Tebben goes out on the slide and has her 7th kill, 23-16. But unlike in set number 2, the Cobbers have played much better here in the closing moments of this 3rd set, 23-16. Racky, low pass, and a point for the Wildcats. It was carried by Klop Hockey as she tried to resurrect that low pass from Racky. 24-16. Amaker will serve it, gives it a spin, and the Wildcats trying to go up 2-1. Wiggs attacks out of the middle. That's out of bounds. Oh, the one official said it was in, and she's going to be overridden by the head official on this stand across the way. That ball was out of bounds, and that wraps up the 3rd set. Wildcats win it 25-16. So the Wildcats win the 2nd set 25-12 and back it up with an impressive set 3 victory, 25-16. The Cobbers will try to force a 5th set, and the Wildcats will try to win this thing in 4. When we come back from St. Paul, you're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
As a family-owned and operated business since 1971, Goodmanson Construction continues to develop concrete relationships with their commercial and residential customers throughout the upper Midwest. Questions or concerns about concrete, asphalt, and the company's installation process, check out their website at goodmansonconstruction.com. Thank you, Goodmanson Construction. A proud sponsor of Wildcat Athletics since all the way back in 1971, the Universal Athletic Team has been passionate about fueling the dreams of athletes, and they put all their know-how into doing just that. By servicing and selling athletic gear to local athletes, high schools, and colleges, Universal Athletic has dedicated its heart and soul to the support of sports, fitness, and health programs in schools and communities. Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines Incorporated, dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation at 888-670-8068 or visit their website at northfieldlines.com. Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians for St. Catherine's University as well as Augsburg University, Hamlin University, and others around the state of Minnesota. Visit tcomn.com and thank you to Twin Cities Orthopedics. For exceptional service and selection, look no further than Fury Motors in St. Paul. They're the #1 family-owned dealer to buy a Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram since all the way back in 1963. So much to choose from, and they make the shopping process easy. Also offering genuine service and financing. Visit stpaul.furymotors.com for more information. People's Electric Company is your full-service electrical contractor, one of the Upper Midwest's largest. From building and process automation, communications, construction services, energy savings, testing, and maintenance. Founded in 1922 by William F. Lindbergh and located in St. Paul, find out more information on People's Electric Company at www.peoplesco.com.
Well, raise your hand if you saw this one coming. The Wildcats have played very well lately, but the Cobbers took that first set 25-20, and really since then it's been all St. Kate's. It's been a good showing if you're a fan of the purple and gold here on senior night. Last home game for Emily Carmen and Mackenzie Pepper. Wildcats lead 2-1. Welcome you back to set number 4. Matt Nelson alongside of hard-working, non-lottery winning engineer Glenn Thompson. I like the lottery factoids. That's kind of the theme of the night. I saw another one that you could do a chain of people holding hands from D.C. to Los Angeles and back, and only one of those people would win the Powerball jackpot. The team that's won the first point has won every set, and here in the 4th set, the Cobbers strike first, and they lead at 1-0. Think about if I were to draw numbers, Glenn, for everyone in this gym, you'd feel pretty lucky if you won that, much less a human chain of people from the nation's capital to Los Angeles. 1-1 now. The stats from the third set, Wildcats hit 484 in the second set. They back it up by hitting 333 in the third set, 138 for Concordia. Cobbers on the match are hitting 132. St. Kate's hitting 267 as Larissa Kish has her third ace of the night, seventh as a team for St. Kate's. Wildcats hitting 267 on the match to 132 for the Cobbers. And, you know, it's almost to be expected as the Cobbers score. They go to the slide, and Brianna Carney has her fourth kill. I mentioned the talented freshman and sophomore classes that the Cobbers have. And anytime that you, like the Wildcats, know that you're playing that many youngsters, nice shot, Nelson, left side, 11th kill. They're just going to have their moments where they get a little, you know, they just start making some mistakes, and those mistakes compound. And I think that's what you saw in that second game. I thought they played much better in the third game, but in the end, St. Kate's just hit a little bit too efficiently offensively, and were able to carry that to the victory. Brackey, Kish is there to dig it out. Running sets Tevin in the middle. She was turned away as Pepper goes to the tip shot. That was handled. Gunderson attacks right side. Pepper chases it down. Tapped over now. Sent back by Lexi Turn. Nelson roll shot off left side. Perfect shot, and it got the fans on their feet. Emma Nelson with a dozen kills and a 4-2 lead for St. Kate's. Really nice, enthusiastic showing of Wildcat fans here tonight. Loud. Probably the loudest volleyball crowd we've had all season long. Nelson turned away. That's a Cobber block and a nice one. Gunderson and Carney, fourth block on the evening for the Cobbers. Nelson has been a tough ticket to block. That time she was able to, or I should say the Cobbers were able to turn her away. 4-3. Cobbers looking to tie it up. Wildcats trying to get the side out. Here comes Pepper scoring. Mackenzie Pepper has her seventh kill. The senior out of Osceola, Wisconsin. Swarzrock in to serve. Splitting the setting duties with Bunning. Turn, nice job picking it out of the net for Cuppet. Amaker's there to dig it out. Tip shot, Carmen, and Brackey got handcuffed. Carmen has her third kill. The out-of-town scoreboard, not surprisingly, it's a final. McAllister remains winless in conference play. They're now 9-17 overall. St. Ben's improves their record to 10-1 as they sweep McAllister at home. Check the rest of the out-of-town scoreboard here momentarily. Gunderson sent back over by Tebben. Amaker can't keep it alive. So a kill for Gunderson, her sixth. So St. Ben's wins tonight over McAllister. Same can be said for St. Thomas. Two results that I don't think surprised anybody who's been following around the conference. The Tommy sweep. The Hamlin Pipers. Rocket shot off the right side. Going to the slide is Tebben. And they're going to say it was out of bounds. So we're now have just a 1-point set, 6-5. Officials have had a few tough ones tonight. That one, the official was more concerned with getting out of the way of it. Into the middle, tipped over, and scoring there was Kendra Wiggs. She has her fifth kill. Elsewhere on the out-of-town scoreboard, Bethel winning the first two sets in Northfield against Carleton, 25-12, 25-22, and they just won the third set, 25-16. So Bethel wins tonight as well. So St. Ben, St. Thomas, and Bethel winners. Turn for Gunderson. That's out of bounds. Wildcats recapture the lead, 7-6. I think when you looked at the volleyball schedule tonight, this St. Kate's Concordia game and then also Augsburg and Gustavus, they were probably the two best games on paper. I think the other three were pretty clear-cut which way they were going to go. Wiggs for Amaker. Schwarzrock, Tebben, turn away and blocked. Wiggs on the block, solo style. And the 5th block for the Cobbers. St. Mary's at home against St. Olaf as well tonight. No scoring from that one. A service ace for the Cobbers and their center, Jill Klophockey. 3rd ace on the night for Concordia. The playoff picture. The top 5 teams have all clinched their postseason berth as Neverentes has her 5th kill. Gustavus is in, St. Ben's is in, St. Thomas is in, Augsburg is in, Bethel is in that order. St. Olaf and Concordia, this Concordia team, we're battling it out for that final playoff spot. St. Olaf 5-4, Concordia 4-5 with 2 to go. And the Cobbers scored with Cuppet. The 7th kill for number 7. Cross-court try. And it'll be Amarentes. Pops it up yet again. She'll get another crack at it. That was blocked. And it's going to be another block. Now we're starting to hear from the Concordia block. Wiggs and Groner, the 6th block for the Cobbers. Eight to 10 lead for Concordia. Your new score, Schwarzrock. Well, Carmen, she brings the Wildcats to within 1. St. Olaf, they can secure that final spot in the playoffs with a win today. They're taking on St. Mary's. That would eliminate Concordia from playoff contention. Right side Pepper dugout, but Concordia would need to win out in order to reach the playoffs, no matter what anyone else does. Oh, nice tip shot. Cuts, just got enough on it. Her 8th kill. We're tied up at 10. It's a race to 15. So the Cobbers and St. Mary's would both need to win out to remain eligible for postseason play, but St. Olaf can eliminate both teams with a win today against St. Mary's. So that would be your best game of the night in the MIAC as Pepper scores, blocked way out of bounds. Racky and Wiggs deflect that one wide, and the Wildcats lead at 11 to 10. Service error for St. Kate's ties us up at 11. Wildcats trying to win this in 4 on senior night. Cobbers trying to force a 5th set. That was a 7th service error for St. Kate's. And that one's out of bounds just barely by inches. So both teams trade service errors. 5th of the night for the Cobbers. And it makes it 12 to 11. In the national polls, Gustavus is up to 9th in the nation. St. Thomas and St. Ben's also got votes in that poll. The next one comes out on the 30th. Boy, service error fest. The 3rd straight point determined by service error, and the 8th of the night for St. Kate's. Both teams tied with a dozen. Our engineer off the microphone, Glenn Thompson, just asked, have I ever seen 3 in a row like that? Yes, I do believe I have. I think I saw one time, I think it was in a Big Ten match. I think it was 4 or 5 of them back and forth. Into the middle of free ball. Oh, and a miss. Carney had a freebie and missed it out of bounds. Wildcats lead it by 2. Sometimes those service errors, Glenn, they're just kind of contagious. It's like you start trading them. You hit it into the net, I hit it into the net. You go long, I go long. It's just kind of one of those hard to explain things. Carney, that time, redeems herself with a nice looking shot. Her 5th kill. By this Concordia team, they'd like a do-over. That loss last Saturday against St. Olaf in 5-set really looms large in their chances to make the playoffs. Good shot off the left side by Nelson. Just enough topspin to find her mark. It's 14-13. And Schwarzrock will go back to serve. That match at Augsburg tonight, Gustavus is trying to lock up at least a share of the conference title. They haven't lost yet in conference play. Gunderson, booming shot off of the right side, ties us at 14. Gunderson, athletic player, 5'11", can really jump and has a powerful right-handed swing. We're all tied up 14-14. Not the best pass that Kish has had all night long, but Wildcats work it over to Nelson. She was blocked. Kish will tap it back over. Cobbers do the same, and they score. It's Lexi Turn, who had a big showing against St. Olaf. 27 assists in that one, and she puts the Cobbers on top 15-14. Here comes Carmen. Now we'll try Nelson through the block. Turn did well to get that ball to cup it. That was great work because it wasn't a great pass from Carney, but Turn gets it to cup it, who scores her 8th kill. Cobbers by 2. And the Wildcats take a timeout. Let's join them. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball. Right now it's Cobbers 16, Wildcats 14. It's the 4th set from St. Paul.
Athletics is proudly supported by the Ryan Company, the Hickey family, U.S. Bank, the Loeffler Companies, Cone U.S., and the Opus Group. Wildcat supporters this season also include Shapco Printing, Sodexo, Terra General Contractors, the O'Neill Group, ProTech Designs, and Floors by Becker. Other Wildcat sponsors include McGough Construction, the DLR Group, Push Pedal and Pull, the Newman Family, Sava Tree, Jimmy John's, and Munchie's Frozen Yogurt.
See if I can chase down a score for the Cobbers followers. I'm sure they're very interested in what's going on in Winona. That volleyball match, St. Olaf and St. Mary's. See if I can chase down an update for you. They need a St. Olaf loss badly, and they need to win out. Nice shot! Wildcats take a timeout, and Tebben has their 8th kill. This one coming out of the middle. Wildcats pulled it within 1. All right, the out-of-town scoreboard. St. Mary's leading 2-1 and leading 12-11 in the 4th set. That's good news if you're a Cobbers fan. But they would need to win out no matter what, as the Wildcats get a whistle and tie it at 16. A loss to St. Kate's means no playoffs for the Cobbers. And a St. Olaf win would mean the same thing. They lost the 3rd set narrowly, 28-26. And an ace. Wildcats can play spoilers here. Nelson has the ace, her 8th. 17-16. Nelson, short serve, overpass. Oh, missed. Tebben has been so good all night long, and she got a freebie and whiffed. So we're tied at 17. It's a race to 8. Low serve. Schwarzrock. Leverentez attacks. That's dug out. Now here comes Cuppet for the Cobbers. Wildcats will try their left side. Nothing doing there. Good rally. Klopaki over on second contact and scores her 2nd kill. Little veteran move there. So, anyone's game right now. Anyone's game here in St. Paul and anyone's game St. Mary's and St. Olaf. Wildcats get the service error, courtesy of the Cobbers. And we're all tied up at 18-18. Both teams trading points. Klopaki sets middle. Great dig by Amaker as she stands her ground. Leverentez block. Amaker's there to send it back over and score it. We'll give the kill in the dig to the Wildcat libero, Amaker, the freshman out of Faribault. But, as I mentioned, our Cobbers viewers tonight, very interested in what's going on between St. Mary's and St. Olaf. Could make for a very interesting Saturday, depending on how these two matches break down. Leverentes, dug out, pop hockey, sets right side. That's out of bounds. Wildcats push their lead to 2. Groner goes high over the block and misses long, and a timeout on the floor. Cobbers take the timeout. It's 20-18. The Wildcats 5 points away from winning this one in 4. You're listening to MIAC Volleyball from St. Paul. They're battling it out in the 4th set out in Winona. Here in St. Paul, the Cobbers need a win and a little bit of help from the Cardinals, who have that same 4-5 record, just as the Cobbers do, to stay in the playoff picture. The Wildcats trying to win on senior night. This one's a biggie. Whistle, point for the Wildcats. 21-18. Amaker is ready. The Wildcats on a good run, and the adrenaline is coursing through the veins. That one goes way long. The 9th service error for St. Kate's. This is anyone's match. Here comes one of those big jump serves from Cuppet. He's been pretty good on him. Nelson, though, a very nice pass. For Cuts in the middle, dug out by Carney. Here comes Bronner off of the right side. Wildcats dig that one out. Leverentes. Now here comes the left side try. Brackey. Amaker's there to dig it out. Back row, Nelson. Got enough on it to score it. Big point. 22-19. Crowd's going crazy in St. Paul. That was a big one. Nelson's 14th. She is, for the 2nd straight match, led all scorers. And we'll see what Concordia's young players are made of, because they are officially on the ropes. It's 22-19, and you're listening to Wildcat Volleyball. I got to tell you, folks, I think the future is pretty bright for both of these teams. Both have a lot of really good young players. I have been thoroughly impressed by Concordia's young core. Right now they trail St. Kate's 22-19, and St. Kate's and their fans have to be impressed by the way that their young players have come around late in this season. Bunning, top spinning serve, pop hockey, that's Brackey, left side. Now here comes Pepper. Dug out, pops straight up. Brackey again. Into the middle, Cuts. And great shot by Cuts. It's 23-19. Cuts has had a big night with 9 kills. Up in Winona, St. Mary's is leading 19-18. Now 20-18. It looks like they're in the driver's chair against St. Olaf. Service error and a clap of the hands by Bunning that keeps the Cobbers' hopes alive. 23-20. That would have been a huge point for St. Kate's. 10th service error for the Wildcats. So the Cobbers look like they're going to get the help they need right now up in Winona as Pepper goes into the crowd to keep that one alive. Amaker bumps it over. Klop hockey sets middle. That's dug out by Bunning. Now Pepper into the box. Scored it. The senior on senior night sends us to match point. And the Wildcats' best server at the line. Cobbers won the first set. Wildcats have won the last two, and they lead by 4. Cobbers need 4 in a row to force extra points. They'll try the middle, through the block. Kish, pancake dig to keep it alive. And they're going to say it was carried. They're going to say 2 hits. Not on the dig by Kish, but on the set by Bunning. So the Cobbers get one of their 4 points they need. Still match point. And Lexi Turn back to the service line. A dribble, and here she comes. Safe serve. Bunning pops it up for Pepper. Dug out easily by Turn. Cobbers battling for their lives. Brackey sends it over. Here come the Wildcats with Nelson. Bounce. A nail biter in St. Paul. 24-22. Cobbers have gotten halfway there to forcing those extra points. Wildcats will try to end it here. They'll go to Nelson. She was blocked. Gunderson was there. 3 straight for the Cobbers. And we'll see. Does Coach Nelson want a timeout? He does. The Wildcats. We've had the Cobbers 3 straight points. It's 24-23. Wildcats still 1 point away from sending us home. Let's break with the players. Out-of-town scoreboard update for the Cobbers fans watching. They've got to take care of their own business here. The Wildcats trying to win on senior night, trying to play spoiler up in Winona. St. Olaf is charged back to lead in that 4th set. They're trying to force a 5th up there. Exactly what the Cobbers are trying to do here in St. Paul. 24-23. Wildcats need to get the side out. They can send us home. Pepper on senior night does it. Pretty cool. Wildcats win the 4th set 25-23. Wildcats win 3 straight to win it in 4. And Mackenzie Pepper, the senior out of Osceola, Wisconsin, her last touch as a Wildcat in the Butler Center is a clincher as the Wildcats win it in 4. Again, the totals. Concordia wins the first game 25-20. St. Kate's bounces back and dominates the second game 25-12. Wildcats 25-16 in the 3rd set and 25-23. A nail biter here in the 4th set. That closes the postseason hopes for Concordia. Think about that though, with this young team, Glenn, this young team, they take their postseason hopes and dreams down to the very last week of the season. Good effort for Concordia and their head coach Tim Mosser. A very impressive young core of players, but in the end, the Wildcats on their home floor in front of a very loud and energetic crowd on senior night are able to get that thing across the goal line in the 4th set, and they win it 25-23. That's our final broadcast of the season here for St. Kate's. We'll be back with basketball. Don Mulhern's team on the 27th of November. We'll carry all of their home games for you here, as well as any postseason play that should come about in that one. For St. Kate's and their volleyball team, they improved their record to now 14-11 on the season. This guarantees that they'll finish above 500, 3-7 in MIAC play. Concordia College and the Cobbers falls to 9-17. They are now 4-6 in the MIAC and eliminated from postseason contention. That leaves just St. Olaf and St. Mary's battling it out for that last playoff spot, and they're going to go to a fifth set up in Winona. So if you've been watching this one, you can click over to that match in Winona, because it looked like they were going to be heading to a fifth set up there. Their live stats is bouncing all over the board. So keep it tuned right there to all your Facebook and Twitter updates from the MIAC to determine that sixth and final playoff spot. So for Wildcats fans, we will talk again in just over a month as basketball will rejoin you here in St. Paul and the Butler Center. Until we talk again, the Wildcats will wrap up their regular season on Saturday, 3 o'clock first serve on the road against St. Thomas. They have won 3 straight, a very impressive closing few weeks to the season for Coach Nelson and his very young Wildcats team. For our engineer Glenn Thompson, for Athletics Director Eric Stacy, I'm Matt Nelson signing off from St. Paul as the Wildcats win in 4 over Concordia College and the Cobbers. Go Cats!